Hey guys, let's talk Fractal Design for a second or two. The Design C is behind me. This review sample was provided from Fractal Design to the Overclock.net Hardware Labs team. So, Design C, what's different from the Design S? Well, take about 5 inches off the front, and there you go. Yep, you heard me. About 5 inches is what it's pretty much difference. So sometimes bigger is not always better. And I think the Design C, C standing for compact, not cheap, compact, is a direct correlation or representation of NZXT's S340 lineup, but Fractal Design Scandinavian design. Sound appropriate? I would think so. What you have support for is up to a 360mm radiator in the front, or 280, 240 as well, a 240 in the top, and then a 120 in the rear. So very water cooling centric. All right, so defining features. This time, Fractal Design has included a basement. So an interesting basement, so to speak. So it is a non-modular but modular basement. The modular part being it has a front panel that comes off in lieu of extra wide radiators or anything of the sort if you want to put that there. You can also move the hard drive bay, which the panel also covers, basically allowing you to have more water cooling options available to you. I did test this out and I actually put an H220, the one I have installed here, all the way down in the basement. It fits. So move the tubing and it actually will fit a 320mm radiator or all-in-one system, no problem. So something like a H320 Prestige by SwiftTech will fit no issues in this case. Reservoir, pump, it'll all fit it, no problem. So that tells me that it can cool a CPU and GPU, no problem nowadays. So it does have great expandability in terms of cooling options. On the top of the system, it does have one Moduvent. Either you have it or you don't, but they do include a mesh filter, which is actually nice. I'm utilizing that right now. As far as the rest of the filters, there is a front 360mm filter and as well as the full bottom filter on the bottom of the case, just like the Define S and the Define Nano S for that matter. This actually fits ATX, not eATX, just ATX, micro ATX, and mini ITX motherboards. It does support video cards up to 315mm depending on where you have the fans configured. The front GP12 fan can be moved to the front if you take out the front filter, as well as giving you a little bit more room for fatter radiators as well too if you have bigger video cards. Do I think a lot of water coolers are going to be migrating to this case? Possible, but I think the Define S is a little bit better in water cooling support because it supports up to a 420 on the very top, or wider top panel design. You have a little bit more cooling headroom. But this is a response to the S340, S340 Elite and all the like, to have a smaller compact version, but giving you a little bit more flexibility, so to speak. Because that's something I think that the NZXT S340 lineup doesn't really give you, is that kind of modularity to kind of pick what you want. The back panel of this motherboard also features an interesting SSD tray. It supports 3 SSDs there, or 2.5-inch drives, and then it has on the bottom basement has support for 2 additional SSDs or 3.5-inch mechanical hard drives. So you really have a pretty good selection of hard drive compatibility here. All right, let's talk about things that could have been improved upon. One being a fan controller. There's no fan controller. I think there was enough room up front to put a fan controller. Do I think the fan controller needs to happen because of the included fans? I'm here nor there. I like to be able to control my fan speeds. They're quiet enough as they are, so the included fans do a great job of not needing to be controlled. But if you were to replace your fans with something a little bit more powerful, a little bit more noisy, the second thing is the inclusion of some sort of horizontal mount for your GPU. You're starting to see that more often. You see that with the DeepCool Genome case. A lot more other case manufacturers are getting side set GPU mounts or some sort of the like actually included with it. So I think to have something like that included in there would give that modularity or the flexibleness of mounting your GPU the way you want to. But it wouldn't really honestly take much to fab up something like that to side set your GPU anyway if you're into modding a little bit. So I might be doing that a little bit. I'm interested in that to showcase a little bit of the water cooling GPU blocks off as well too. So that's something that I would probably like to see in future designs as far as a GPU horizontal mount instead of the traditional mount in the motherboard mount like every other ATX style case. That said, those are my two only gripes about the case. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to toss me a like and a subscribe. I'm gonna leave you with some B-roll here. Fantastic, fantastic case. I can't recommend it enough. MSRP prices at $84.99. Can't suggest it enough for the windowed side panel version. It is phenomenal value for the money. So again, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.